Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for joining me on this channel, Adults ESL Online Learning. I'm Dr. Hernandez Smith. This is in the Google Classroom titled English as a Second Language, Level 3, Topic Shopping. And Part 4 concentrates on reading. So we'll go to the first reading material. There is a Google Slides. The material is taken from the Ventures eStudent Workbook, and that is on the Cambridge One website. And the link is under the Unit 7 shopping. And we will be reading. It says, before you read, look at the reading tip, skim the magazine article, answer the questions. What problem did the people have? Number one. And number two, how did they solve it? On the right-hand side is the reading tip. One way to organize information is to give problems and solutions. Here is the title, A Credit Card Nightmare. There is a picture of a person holding out their wallet with various cards in the card slots. There is a young couple, standing in front of a house. It looks like a house, smiling. I think the problem that these people have is I think that the problem is credit card debt. For number one, the people in the picture have a problem. Number one, what problem did the people have? The couple in the picture have a problem with their credit cards. Number two, how did they solve it? Number two, how did they solve it? They solved the problem by canceling their credit cards and paying off their debt. A credit card nightmare. Soon Hai and Joseph Kim got their first credit card a week after they got married. At first, they paid off the balance every month. The couple's problems began after they bought a new house. They bought their new furniture, a big screen television, and 2 new computers. To pay for everything, they applied for more and more credit. Soon they had 6 different credit cards, and they were more than $18,000 in debt. It was a nightmare, says Mrs. Kim. The interest rates were 18% to 24%. Our minimum payments were over $750 a month. We both got second jobs, but it wasn't enough. I was so worried about paying off the debt, I cried all the time. Luckily, the Kims found a solution. They met Dolores Delgado, a debt counselor. With her help, they looked at all of their living expenses and made a family budget. They combined their 6 credit card payments into one monthly payment with a lower interest rate. Now their monthly budget for all living expenses is $3,400. Together they earn $3,900 a month. That leaves $500 for paying off their debt. We've cut up our credit cards, says Mr. Kim. No more expensive furniture. In 5 years, we can pay off our debt. Now we know credit cards are dangerous. 3. After you read, A. Check your understanding. Number 1. What word in the article means terrible experience? It was a nightmare. So I'm going to add it was a nightmare. Nightmare means terrible experience. Number 2. What is the main idea of the article? The main idea of the article is about the importance of responsible credit card use. Number 3, when did Mr. and Mrs. Kim get their first credit card? They got the credit card 1 week after they got married. Number 4, when did their problems begin? Their problems began when they bought their house. Number 5, how did they pay for everything? They used their credit cards to pay for everything. Number 6, according to the article, what things did the Kims do to reduce their debt? Number 6, they hired a debt counselor to help them understand how to use credit cards. They consolidated their debt and paid only one lender, and they cut up their credit cards. Number 7, do you think the Kims will have financial problems in the future? What evidence supports your answer? Number 7, they will not have financial problems in the future because they never want to go through this experience again. Number 1, find these words in the reading and underline them. Credit card, debt counselor, family budget, interest rates, minimum payments. Credit cards, interest rates, family budget, credit card, minimum payments, debt counselor. Number 2, work with a partner. Circle the correct answers. Look at the words in exercise B1. They are compound nouns. In each of the 2-word combinations, the first word is credit, debt, family, interest, minimum. We know that these words are nouns, but in this 2-word combination, they are an adjective. What kind of card? Credit card. It describes the card. What kind of counselor? A debt counselor. Financial counselor, if you will. A budget. What type of budget? A family budget. Rates. What kind of rates? Interest rates. And payments. What type of payment? Minimum payments. Look at the words again. The second word is card, counselor, budget, rates, payments. Noun. Number 3, match each compound noun with its meaning. Number 1, credit card. B, a small plastic card that allows you to buy something now and pay for it later. Number 2, interest rate. D, the rate percentage of interest that you must pay each month on a credit card balance. Number 3, minimum payment. C, the smallest payment you can make each month on a credit card. For debt counselor. E, a person who helps you solve financial problems. Family budget, a spending plan that a family makes for itself. Number 4, work with your classmates. Write other noun plus noun combinations. Okay? Let's do one is house party. Another noun and plus noun combination is kitchen sink. Another combination is another noun plus noun combination is mousetrap. What other noun plus noun combinations can you think of? And add them in the comment section. This is the second reading that we will do. This article is titled, "A Penny Saved is a Penny Earned." Susan has a great job as a nursing assistant, but she has a problem. She is thinking about buying a used car. However, she doesn't have the money in a savings account, and she is afraid of getting into a lot of debt. She doesn't spend much on expensive clothes or entertainment, but she never seems to have enough money. "I worried about paying my bills," Susan says. "I use my credit card a lot, and I usually make only the minimum payment. Unfortunately, my credit card has a high interest rate. What can I do?" Many people have the same problem. The solution is simple. Susan needs a personal budget, a plan for spending her money. Making a budget is not difficult. All it takes is 3 easy steps. Here is financial advice for people like Susan. First, you should make a list of all your daily expenses for 1 month. Keep a piece of paper in your wallet and write down everything you buy. Don't forget incidental expenses like a cup of coffee or a magazine. Second, at the end of the month, you should look at your expenses, combine them into categories or groups such as clothing and entertainment. Then write down the other expenses, monthly bills like rent and electricity. Add up the numbers. What's the total amount you spent last month? It may surprise you. Finally, think about adjusting your spending habits, especially if you want to save for something special. You should look at your major expenses first. For example, maybe one of your largest expenses is a $200 a month for food. Try changing your shopping habits so that you save $10 a month on grocery bills. You should also look at small things that you buy every day. Every afternoon at work, I buy a $3 snack, such as a cupcake or muffin, says Susan. If I bring a snack from home, I can save $60 every month and use that money to buy a car sooner. When you make a budget and follow it carefully, you will have more money for the important things in your life. After all, a penny saved is a penny earned. Number 1, check your understanding. The first question asks, what is the main idea of the article? The main idea is about the benefits of a personal budget. Number two, what is Susan worried about and why? Number 2, Susan is worried about getting into debt. She needs to buy a car, but she doesn't have enough money in the bank, and she only makes the minimum payment on her credit card. Number 3, what are 2 problems Susan has with her credit card? Number 3, Susan only makes the minimum payment and the interest rate is high. Number 4, first make a list of all your monthly expenses. Second, at the end of the month, create categories of your expenses and the total of how much you spent. Last, adjust your spending habits. In the article, it'll show you first, you make a list of all your daily expenses for the month. And then the second tip is in the 5th paragraph. Second, at the end of the month, you should look at your expenses and combine them into categories or groups, such as clothing and entertainment. Then write down your expenses, monthly bills, electricity, rent, and add up the numbers. What's the total amount you spent last month? So you're going to find out how much you spent. And then the last tip is think about adjusting your spending habits, especially if you want to save for something special. Number 5, what is the author's opinion about making a budget? Number 5, the author thinks that a budget is helpful. When you make a budget and follow it carefully, you will have more money for the important things in your life. Build your vocabulary. Find the words in column 1 in the paragraphs indicated and underline them. For each, identify a clue to its meaning, then complete the chart. Okay, let's find the clues. Number 1, budget. Paragraph 3, a plan for spending her money. Dictionary definition, a financial plan. Number 2, list. You should make a list of all your daily expenses for 1 month. Keep a piece of paper in your wallet, write down everything that you buy. A number of connected items or names written or printed. Number 3, incidental, 4th paragraph. Don't forget incidental expenses like a cup of coffee or a magazine. Small expenses. Detail, expense, event. So it's a detail. Number 4, categories. Categories. Combine them into categories or groups. Class or a division of people or things regarded as having a particular shared characteristics. Having shared characteristics. People or things that have shared characteristics, groups. Number 5, add up. Add up the numbers. What's the total amount you spent last month? Total. Perform the process of calculating total value of 2 or more numbers or amounts. And number 6, snack. Every afternoon, I buy a $3 snack, such as a cupcake or a muffin. Says Susan. If I bring a snack from home, I can save $60. Okay, cupcake or muffin. Okay. So these are our words. Number 1, okay. Number 1, what is Susan afraid of? Susan is afraid of getting into debt. There includes her quotes. I worry about paying my bills. I use my credit card a lot, and I usually make only the minimum payments. Unfortunately, my credit card has a high interest rate. What can I do? So, in her words, she's asking for advice. What can I do? So she's worried about, getting into debt. Number 2, how can people adjust their spending habits? Well, the author points out in the 6th paragraph that people can look at their major expenses first and see what the most expensive one is, and then look at smaller things that they spend their money on, the smaller expenses, and maybe they can make some adjustments with the smaller expense. Number 3, what happens when you make a budget and follow it carefully? The author points out that if you follow your budget carefully, you will have more money for the most important things in your life. If you had any questions or comments about the 2 articles in the Google Slides, go ahead and leave a question or comment in this section. You can hit the post button and your comment or question will be posted. I look forward to seeing you again in part 4, but for lessons A through E. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.